Okay, now we're recording. So I'm going to really start over again. You're going to get your package, and you're going to download it to your desktop, and it's going to contain if you just go, it's going to, let me bring the workspace over. It's going to contain these three. Go to Utilities, Import NinjaScript. I'm going to my desktop, which is where I put the package, and the package is called the AutoTrader. Click on it, and the first thing you're going to import is called the Right-Line AutoTrader Support. That's the software package that's going to communicate with the server and the AutoTrader. Now you only have to put that on one chart. Once it's been imported once, it's done. Don't look at it again or think about it again. It's finished. Now, since I opened up the TF, I'm going to click on AutoTrader TF, and I'm going to import the Russell AutoTrader. Then after it's imported, it's just going to do it seamlessly. You're then going to go to the AutoTrader, Strategies. You're going to have the RL AutoTrader in here. Now I'm going to show you what's going to happen. I have it on true. I'm going to turn it to false. And I'm going to hit apply. Okay. So now the AutoTrader's off. So now I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to go to the Strategies. I'm going to go to the AutoTrader. And I'm going to go to true. I'm going to hit OK. And now it's going to prompt me for a username and a password. Now what you have to do is, I know that you've sent us your machine ID before, but we're not sure. Some of us have sent us multiple machine IDs, and you may have a new machine ID. You have to send us your machine ID tonight. That machine ID will be configured into the software. Once it's configured into the software, you will be given a username and a password. Now I'm going to move this over here so you can't see my username or password. I'm going to put them in. And I just did. And I hit OK. Whoops. It's asking me for it again. Hold on a second. Can't type. There we go. Now everything is on. We have to send them to you, RW. When you send us your machine ID, Leo is going to will configure all the passwords, and he will send you a username and password. So tomorrow morning is not going to be a day you're going to be using the AutoTrader. Tomorrow is the day you're all going to be getting throughout the day, one by one by one. You're all going to be getting your usernames and passwords. Hold on one second. Leo wants to talk to you. Hold on one second. Let me just ask you the question. I know what it says. All right, hold on.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Please say yes. Alright, perfect. Alright, perfect. Alright, this is what you really have to do. I'm just gonna minimize all this so you can see what's going on in the background. Then I'm just gonna open this one. Okay, this is the package that I sent out. Right, you got these 4 packages when you get the AutoTrader. All right, the first thing that you have to do, you have to import this one to the computer. So the AutoTrader support, you have to import it. So you go to File,
Yes, we do.
Utilities, Import NinjaScript, and then you look for that one.
What's your email address?
AutoTrader. All right, once that you import that, you don't have to touch it anymore. So that one is only the software. That's what you use to communicate with the server. Once that you do that, that's it. You forget about it. And then you import every single one of them. You import the CL, the GC, and the TF. And then you forget about it. Once that you import one, if you want to delete it, you can delete it out. You don't need it anymore. Once that you import it, then NinjaTrader is going to have it inside of it. So after that, if you want to use it, you go to your charts. And then you actually enable it. So this is the CL. You go to strategies, and then you look for the CL, and you put it through, and that's it. So you only import it once. Once that you import the indicators, the strategies, that's it. You forget about it. You don't need to touch it anymore. Okay? The one that says support, you don't have to put in any chart. It will only put a file in your computer, and that's it. That one you don't have to put in a chart. The one that you have to put in a chart is the TF, the CL, and the GC. The one that says support, you don't use it. You only import it, and that's it. It works by itself. Got it? Please say yes or no, somebody. All right, so remember the one that says support, import it, and that's it. Forget about it.
Okay, did everybody understand that? Okay, now did Leo show you about putting in the username and password? Okay, so once you put in your username and password, it'll enable. And you have to do that with each individual strategy. So, right. Make sure you have the TF on the. Make sure you have the TF package in the TF chart. Your TF chart right here. If you look at strategies, I have my CL package on my CL chart. It has to be an 8-range chart because that's what we've optimized. I mean, later on we can move to different size charts. We can move to different stop losses. When we provide you with a dashboard, you're going to have more flexibility in terms of how the auto trader functions. But right now, if you want the auto trader to take trades for you optimally, I mean, we spent a year on market replay data using the 8-range. Right now, there is no adjustment for the number of contracts. Everything is locked. You're locked at 3 contracts. You're locked at our profit targets, and you're locked on our stop loss. We will make a dashboard very, very shortly, and you're going to be able to change the ATM strategy, change the number of contracts. Right now, there is no adjustment for that. Right now, you cannot do 6. Very shortly, you can do 6, 12, 18, 24. We are, what you're getting right now, because the auto trader is doing so well. It only took 6 losses the whole month of February. And March, it's generating a tremendous equity curve. I just want to get it out to you. That's all. I mean, 90% of the people in here already own it, and you have a lifetime license. So I just want you to have the auto trader and get it going and get it making money for you. We are going to add all the bells and whistles for it. As time progresses, you're going to have a lot of ability to configure, change, modify, and play with. So that's really it. Okay, listen, I'm telling you, Ray, you're going to see the money because you've been watching this thing trade successfully in the room, and it did wonderful today. Today it did 6 wins and 2 losses. It made $400 and on 3 contracts. And you know what, something? It did it all in the background without any muss or fuss. And today was one of its rougher days. The stop loss on it is 10 ticks. The markets are the Russell, crude, and gold. Stop loss initial stop loss is 10 ticks. Then it goes to, as soon as it hits your first target of 5, it then goes to break even. And then your second target is 10, and that takes you out of the trade. Okay, I'm going to give you the trading times. This is when we've optimized the trading times for. For crude oil, I would recommend to leave it on from 8 o'clock in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon. For gold, 8 o'clock in the morning
Order filled.
until 12:30 in the afternoon. And on the Russell, from open until 11:30 in the afternoon. Okay? Did you get that? No. You do not have to disable to take discretionary trades. You just can't take both at the same time. I don't believe you can take a discretionary and an auto at the same time. You do not have to disable it. You do. You have. No. You don't have. If you inserted any of the software packages that I sent you over the weekend, those have to come out. We're going to send you brand new ones. And we're going to send those to you as soon as you send us your machine ID. The best thing to do is send us your NinjaTrader machine ID tonight. Leo's going to configure each package one by one and shoot them out to you in the morning. And it's going to be, it's a randomly generated username and password. Yeah, if you send us the email. Eastern times for everything, yes. Sure, times again, crude oil 8 to 2:30, 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Gold 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The Russell 9:30 to 12:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, just slow down for 1 second. Let me get all the questions. Trader Tom, we've optimized it on an 8 range. Not a Renko. So I would recommend to stay with what we've done because that's what we spent a lot of time. Thank you, Ray, for typing that out. Okay, yeah, delete your prior email. No. Nothing that you've been using that's in there now. That's the software, Mike. That's all good. The software and the auto trader have nothing to do with each other. Now remember, here's what's going to happen, and this is what I recommend. On Russell Open, you wait 5 minutes. Sure. On the Russell Open, I will, Moneypenny. On the Russell Open, I recommend that you turn it off. So let's say the Russell is on right now. And let's just say let's say news is coming up, okay? Let me enable it. Go down to the auto trader. You're just going to go from true, just go to false, hit OK. The Russell's now off. It's now, you can trade it discretionary, but the auto trader is gone. If you want to, if the news passes, you simply go back, go to strategies, go to auto trader, just go enabled, go from false to true, hit OK. Now it's gonna prompt you for a username and password, so just have it handy, hit OK, and you're back on. It takes seconds. And as long as you know your username and password, you can go from on to off really, really fast. No, it's up to you, Mike Sklar. If you want to trade all three, you enable all three. If you want to enable one, you enable one. My recommendation is to insert each specific package into each chart, and then you have the option of trading 1, 2, or 3. But they each trade independently of each other. So basically, based on the specific news, you may, if there's a crude inventory report, I would recommend you disable crude. Maybe you want to disable gold. But that's the kind of thing that you're going to really have to pay attention to. If you're in the trading room, I'm obviously going to make recommendations for when we turn it on and when we turn it off. But I think that's going to come all very, very easy. Okay, right. And if you now, just say I'm busy. Now, if you see the account, I have the account set to SIM. If you have a live account, you're just going to click on it, and it's going to go from SIM to live. That's real simple. The initial stop loss, Trader Tom, is 10 ticks. Once it hits your first target, the stop loss is going to go to break even. Now, the first target on all three markets is 5 ticks. Okay? Then, at break even, we're going to go for a second target of 10. At 10 ticks, the trade closes. So if you get a 10-tick trade, optimally an 11-tick trade, the auto trade will be out of the trade with a profit of $300. If it goes immediately against you and takes you out, you're going to have a net loss of $400. So that's the kind of profit loss you're looking at. But really the bottom line is, in terms of money management, is what is the predictive value of an entry, and these predictive entries have a tremendously high predictive value of at least getting to your first target of plus 5. Let me take a look for 1 second. 1539. I'll take a look. Oh, that Leo just sent that signal at 1539. What he's just making sure is that our server, there was no real trade. Is that the server and my NinjaTrader are talking to each other. So he just put a trade through. Yeah, he did send a bad one, Cliff. You think the guy could have made me a little bit of money, but all he did was cost me money on some. So, he's done a few of those today. The actual trades it took were 6 and 2 for $400 today, and there've been some signals he sent through. Now Moneypenny asked. See, he just sent this through. It's a test. He's just sending through graffiti and nasty messages to me now. Moneypenny asked how the signals are generated, and really that's the key to the whole system, Moneypenny. We've optimized the trades such that a C candle has to be so many ticks from the modified 15, so many ticks from the 50. The MA diff has to have a certain number. The slope of the modified 15 has to have such and such a slope. We've really gone out of our way to kill ourselves on creating entries based on a whole year of market data, which is going to provide you with very, very conservative entries. We're not looking for a number, we're looking for profitability. Okay, so does that make sense, Moneypenny? No, we took the trailer out. And the reason we did DK is because I still believe that we're going to make more money. Most of our trades, when we trade discretionary, don't go over 20. If the trade goes over 20, you're going to make more money with the trailer. If it goes less than 20, you're going to make more money with the more conservative entry. Now, bringing the trailing stop to break even after 5 cut us off on a few today. And we are going to reevaluate that as time goes by, because when you make when you make $500 on 99 ticks of net profit, that's a little bit slim. But ultimately, you're going to have the configurability on this to modify it yourself, so that you can change the ATM strategy however you see fit. I'm sorry, so far since you have changed your ATM strategy, I believe you have done. Well, I think. Listen, I think ultimately we're going to do better with the conservative money management strategy, because just really based on the fact that we are looking to take the trade out at 10. Everyone's guaranteed to get out at plus 11, and you're going to close the trade at $300. If we had a runner and you took your first two and you took your two contracts out at plus 5, you would have to go 20 or more to get $100 on each of your remaining contracts. I agree. That's how I'm looking at it, but that's what we're going to have to see. But ultimately, everybody's in charge of their own money management strategy. That's why when like on this trade here, I can show you in a second. I let this go 22. I wanted to see how far it was going to go. Now we're out of the trade at plus 11, and so will the auto trader. That is going to be out of this trade at plus 11. But in order to evaluate it, we want to see how far this trade would ultimately go. Ultimately, on a 10-tick trailer, we would have made $20 more per contract if we let it run. So we want to see how many of our trades are going to run past 20 in order to take a more. I mean, on the Russell today, he was a 27-tick trade that we closed at 7 because it came back just 5. Took us out at break even and prevented us from getting a 27-tick trade. Auto is still 3 contracts, correct, Lonnie? Billy, all you got to do, if you have the software and you have everything set up, all you simply do is add the strategies to your charts. You do nothing with the software package, nothing with the indicators. Yes, you're going to see you will see the same signals. No, Max Gain. Right now, the deal in which you get the auto trader with the software is closed. If you want to get the software, you can purchase the software. If you want the auto trader, you can lease the auto trader. They're completely separate. You could get the software for life. The auto trader is available for lease only. That's what we don't know, Kim. I don't know if it's more profitable with the 10-tick trailer or if it's not, and that's what we're trying to ascertain right now. It'll take a re-entry trade, Trader Tom, as long as they conform to the strategies that we have entered into its logic. The auto trader is $349 a month for all 3 markets, for the Russell, for crude, and for gold. We're not doing it by the market. Right. People have the opportunity to purchase it for life before that deal is done. So I think that, listen, there are going to be little glitches for the next day or two after you get the software. Now, I just want you to see this. Leah just reminded me, and I think it's important. When you go to strategy and you go to the auto trader, if you're not sure if it's enabled or not, watch what's going to happen here. Let me open up my crude chart. Hold on one second here. Hold on one second. Oh, see the small D here? Just to the left of Auto Trader? Can everybody see that? Right here? That shows you that the Auto Trader is disabled. So just by looking at your chart, you don't even have to open up the the space. If you're not sure whether you're live or not, just go up here and it's going to say D for disable. And then when you go back and enable it, that D will be gone. See? Vanish. So now we know that the auto trader is live. Now, I think that people, I think, yes, Billy, you can do that. And Leo just actually confirmed that. You definitely can. Now, people may get, it pops up every time, Ray, that you go from off to on. Because basically what you're doing is you're reestablishing a connection between your NinjaTrader and the server. Well, listen, Rich, that's the reason why we have so limited the number of subscriptions we have to the auto trader. If it was our goal to swamp any particular market, we would have made the number of subscriptions unlimited. A certain amount of people who bought the software were given the auto trader for life, and then we opened up a very, very number of limited subscriptions for lease. Once those numbers are filled, your ability to get the auto trader is done. The server sends the signal to your NinjaTrader, Trader Tom, and it's actually going to engage the entry right on your Superdome. Well, listen, what can I tell you? If all 50 people are taking the same trade at the same time, you're looking at 150 contracts, 50 times 3. And I think in a market like crude oil, where you're trading 150,000 contracts a day, the same thing with gold, where you're trading 150 to 175,000 contracts a day, and the Russell, which was doing about 100,000 contracts a day, I think it can absorb a trade like that. Let's see how things go. I personally don't think that it's going to overrun any particular buy-sell area. I really, really don't. If people start upping, eventually when they get a dashboard, if they start putting in orders of 100, then we'll see what we have to do. I want everybody who leases this to have a fair shot at getting a fill. Well, the problem is you're not going to move the market. What you may do is you're going to get your entry, but the problem is you want to get out of the trade. And there's a whole bunch of people. If you're in a long trade, you need to get sellers on the other side to take your contracts from you. So obviously there is a liquidity issue, but I think on crude oil and gold and the Russell, we'll see if it becomes an issue. We are going to add more markets, Kim. This is just the start. We're going to go to the Forex markets. I know a lot of people in here don't. Well, you just caught me. The next markets, I think, the next set of markets that we're going to add are the currencies and the ES. Rich, I think the best trading market, the DAX eventually too. The only issue with the DAX, Trader Tom, is that, and the reason we have it down on our list, and I'm going to go back, is that it's $3,500 in a contract of margin. So to trade 3, it's going to cost you almost $10,000 in your account, and so it's an expensive market. and a lot of people can't afford 10 grand's worth of margin. The DAX is on our list. And the DAX trade's wonderful, and I don't think the DAX is going to take a whole lot of different optimization than, say, crude or gold, because it's a super volatile, super momentum market, but it's one we're going to. I already told you, I'm going to tell you what we've picked out next, and those are two very, very tough markets. One is the ES, because it has tremendous liquidity, and you can trade 50 contracts or 100 contracts, and it'll suck those up like with a blink of an eye. Now the ES is going to be hard because it trades on a 3 range, and we've always optimized everything for an 8 range. The other markets we're going to do along with the ES is going to be the Forex. They're very liquid markets. Unfortunately for us in the United States on the East Coast, even the West Coast too, they trade in the middle of the night. But they're tremendously lucrative markets, and they trade great on this system on a 5 range. And if I had time, I have a Forex feed. I would show you the euro dollar, the euro pound, and the euro yen. They are great markets, and they give great setups. So we're going to move to our next two markets are the DAX. I'm sorry, are the ES because of its liquidity, and the Forex. That's right. I mean, the Forex is it's a cheap trade. I agree with you. And liquidity issues on the Forex and the ES are no issues. So those are the markets we're going to move to. We're going to basically move to markets that have an infinite amount, almost seriously close to an infinite amount of liquidity as far as we're concerned. Right now, I don't think that 50 subscriptions in total to this program are going to stop up crude, the Russell, or gold. If I had to pick one market, Rich, I would pick crude. Today on crude, the Auto Trader was 2 for 2. I just think it's a wonderful market. It just gives the truest signals. It's a great momentum market, and it really just flies through. There are very, very few false signals on it, and the Auto Trader ate it alive today. This is an Auto Trader trade right here, and a winner. And then it's really hard to tell because of that data feed issue. And they're still having a problem with the data feed issue, so I can't go back. Let's see. See, here was another Auto Trade win here. No, I can't really tell. That's really one of our wins. The only one I can tell is that one. I know the Auto Trader had a great day today on crude. And the only one I can see is the one that it took very, very late in the day. Right here. So that's the one market I recommend. I think that would be my number one choice. Yes, Alan. It'll trade all 3 markets at the same time. If you have enough margin, you can be in a trade on all 3 markets at once. That is not going to stop it. As long as it gets a good entry, you're going to be in. You're going to be in. And I know that there'll be questions as we go along. Just to be sure. RW. All you have to do, start on Sim for sure. That's number 1. And number 2, you can only enable it on one market. RC. Just enable it on crude. And let it trade crude for you. You don't have to have it trade 3 markets. I have never seen the Auto Trader in a trade on 2 markets at the same time. Has it, Leo? Okay, well, take it back. Leo has. It's probably because I'm kind of focusing in the room and I don't see it. Yep. Rich, listen, any kind of big move, any kind of major market mover. I don't like to trade the pit opening. If you want to, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. And crude inventory reports, I would definitely step aside. Any major, the president gets up there. You want to stay conservative. And the thing is, this Auto Trader takes such great conservative trades. There's no reason to risk a penny of your money, and it's hard-earned money during an inventory report or during any kind of news report. Don't let it wiggle you out of a trade. Let it just trade true during normal trading hours, and you're going to do really well. Inventory reports usually are at 10 or 10:30 RW. Listen, you got to go to forexfactory.com. It's got a calendar on it, RW, every day. That's the first thing you should do before you turn these markets on. And it's going to give you every single important report that's going to come out for the whole week, let alone for the day. And just look at the reports in red that are in the U.S., and you're going to have it down pat. Plus, you're in the trading room. Everybody in the trading room always puts up 500 things like, don't trade during this hours, this news is coming out. So, you got a lot of people watching your back and a lot of people telling you when there's news. And it's a really nice community in there. And everybody's looking out for everybody. Everyone's looking out for each other. So we never miss a major news report in that room. All three at the same time, Brian? I think if you want to trade all three at the same time, I think you need about $7,500 worth of margin. Maybe even 10. Because the thing is, you could potentially get into a gold and a crude trade at the same time. That's 6 contracts, that's $6,000 of margin. Maybe you get away with $7,500, but no less than that. And the one thing you don't want to do is have it signal you a crude or gold trade and get banged out of the trade because you've hit your margin max. You don't get access to the room, Trader Tom. If you buy the software, you get 2 free months in the room. There's a separate room sign up. But you don't. The Auto Trader does not give you access to the room. Listen, whenever you download it on Friday, just delete, Bruce. Just totally get rid of it. And I would just recommend to start on Sim just so you get used to the signals, see how they tick you in. Listen, you're going to have so much opportunity, and I really honestly believe that you're going to have tremendous opportunity to make a lot of money off this Auto Trader. Just take it slow and give yourself a day or two to get used to it. Now, I know that there are going to be other questions. Leo, will the Auto Trader work on market replay? It won't. It will not, Brian. I'm sorry. It only works in a live market. I know there are going to be questions. I would just ask you when they're in the trading room. If you have questions about the Auto Trader, email us, and then we will reply to you as soon as the trading room is closed, because it's really it's hard for me to trade, and I can't blame anybody in the room if I miss a trade. It's my own fault. But I try to pay attention to the room because I know that people are asking me questions and I really want to get them answered. But if you can hold your questions, I would really appreciate it. Because a lot of people in the room, even though it's for educational purposes, are using it for whatever purposes they so choose, and I want everyone to be successful, and I want them to make money. And it bothers me if we go home at the close of a day, and I feel that I haven't done that. I really feel like that's my job. So if you have any questions, just hold them. Now, this is going to be recorded. It's long-winded and bombastic. The best thing to do is, if you have any questions, rather than listen to this whole thing, is just to email us, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Oh yeah, absolutely, Max Gain. We recommend you stay on Sim until you just get really comfortable with it. Absolutely, we'll work on Sim, and run out some Sim profits on this. Get comfortable turning it on and off, and just memorize your username and password, and you're set. So start sending us your machine IDs. We'll collect them just for a day or two. RW. Well, you need 2 accounts if you do that, Alan. You can't have your accounts either live or your accounts on Sim. So if you want to use the Auto Trader on Sim, you could just download a separate temporary account. They're going to give you a live feed for like, what is it, 30 or 60? How many days, Leo? They give you 21 days. Doesn't cost you anything, and you're all set to go on Sim. Yep. Well, I think that's a little technical, Trader Tom. I think you know how to do it, but I don't know if a lot of other people do. Yeah, I mean, I really think it should be Alan, and it's really, really easy to do. So, if there aren't any other questions, I'm gonna sign off. No, RW, you're gonna need 2 separate accounts. I'm talking to you at 7 o'clock. You relax, RW. Everybody have a really, really great night. And you're all as the day progresses tomorrow. Just relax, because Leo's got to configure a lot of usernames and passwords. By the end of the day tomorrow, I promise everyone will have a username and password. Everybody will be live on the system on Wednesday morning. Whether you choose to trade it on Sim or to trade it live will be up to you. Yep. Okay, so we're all set to go, and I think kind of for the company and hopefully for you guys who are all part of this, congratulations. I think this is an awesome piece of software, and I really, really think it's a one of a kind. I don't think anyone has ever released an auto trader like this that is going to make you guys money, and I would not release it unless I felt very, very, very comfortable that this was going to be profitable and not take money out of your account. I would not want that to happen. So I think you guys are going to be making money off of it. And tomorrow's the day you're going to get your username and password. Wednesday, you're either going to be live on it or you're going to be on Sim on it, but it's going to be pumping signals into your NinjaTrader. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And thank you, Tony C, and everybody. We just want to make you guys money. We really do. I really feel it's important. So have a nice evening, and I will be in the room tomorrow at 8:45, and we'll start chugging those usernames and passwords out tomorrow. You all have a great, great evening. Bye-bye.